I am back for vlog 4. Oh, do we see? Oh, oui. Oh, mademoiselle. Terms for test was our Old Testament stuff put into a whole show. And this really interested me. How we could turn all these solo pieces that we had previously and turn them into one fluid show that used all of them. Or in any case, most of them, and then the other people had some other bits as well. One thing like a golden moment for me this term was actually being in so many pieces. Because when we did it, we had to change them into chorus pieces. And I ended up actually being in about 7 of the 9 different pieces that ended up on the show. There was only 2 that I weren't in, and one of them was just between 2 people, Nathan and Teresa's, and one of them, had a bit of people in it, but I just wasn't free for it. I wasn't in Jazz's either. I was originally, but I wasn't on the show. I love the process of taking this, honestly, shoddy piece of work and actually transforming it into something that I can go up on stage, perform, and be proud of. And that was important for me after block test, because I was not proud of my work at all, and now I want to do something that actually makes me proud of what I've done. And so that went actually quite well, I think. Initially, I was still suffering from the block. I wasn't progressing very much. I was oh, this isn't working. Oh no. Which was frustrating. But then there came a moment, and I think it was about 4 weeks before we performed, where Tahi just said to me, look, well, let's insert some more bits into your piece so you have a couple of different things. So me and Joe went upstairs and actually did a bit of work, and we actually came up with a Samson Delilah piece. And then me and Nathan had our lion piece, and then me and Janelle also had this soldier piece, which I came up with, which was sort of something separate, but then I was hold on. After the temple falls down, I could have these 2 soldiers interacting and being oh, what's going on? Oh no. And so I included that as well. So in the end, I actually had this piece that used 4 different people and had key interactions with each of them, which was pretty cool, and I enjoyed it. And everyone else also jumped in at the end as well. They formed the ropes and stuff that held me in place, and also they formed they helped me with a chaos scene I had, which was which I sort of got from my term 2 work, with this chaos running all over the place. It's going crazy, and I just had everyone to start bolting it to side, freaking each other out. And that was a moment that I was pretty happy with, and I realised afterwards, I've actually learned a lot this year, because at the start of the year I wouldn't have thought of something like that, but through the work I've done and the thoughts I've had, I've actually managed to come up with this, or take this from what I've already done. Which I was quite happy about. Sorry, just changing the camera angle. So that was pretty cool. Right at the start of the term, Tahi said, I'm coming in about 3 days a week now. I was very glad to hear that, because 3 hours a week is not a lot of time to come up with this full-length show. Especially when we're spending about 5 hours a week doing nothing, which she could be coming in for. So I was rather glad that she did come in. And I'm glad that, in the end, my piece actually looked really good. I was very, very happy with that. Now, I was happy with how everyone did and stuff, and honestly, I'm very glad I didn't just throw in the towel and go, no, after block tests, I'm done. I'm very glad I didn't do that, because the piece was so good this time that if I had, I know I wouldn't have come up with something as good as that. So I'm rather happy with myself. What else to talk about? There's plenty to talk about. That's the thing, this term's been crazy, so it's not I've got nothing to talk about. This time we sort of picked back up on some of the stuff we were doing at the beginning of the year. Just the clay doling, the connections, working on our team dynamic, which I found very fun and very enjoyable and very helpful, because our team dynamic automatically wasn't very good, for some reason. Like it came across a couple of different blocks at points, just people not relating to each other, or I think more accurately, people not trying to, which is sort of some problem we had with term 2, like just people thinking, oh no, we're not going to get this, so I'm not going to try. And I think it was a bit different. I think everyone was trying, but they still weren't putting a lot of effort in, or like they were taking sick days and stuff. And so that's why the crew I got for my piece, Nathan, Annie, Janelle, and Joe, like I knew regardless they'd always be there. They're reliable and stuff, and they don't usually take sick days. And if they do, they have very good reasons for it. It's not just, oh, I woke up late. Oh no. Oh well. Day gone. And that sort of work ethic thing is important for me. I felt like I actually learnt a lot this term, you know? Like I learnt a lot about increasing group dynamic and stuff like that, and how to actually build your team into this unit that can work well. I learnt a lot about improvisation, that if something goes wrong on stage during a performance, you just keep running with it. That was partly through Jared's work, partly through Tahi's work. I also learnt a fair bit about being available to just jump in where you can. And I think that's sort of been a whole year focus for me, because at like first block tests for Sylvia when we were doing stuff, I ended up in being like 8 out of 11 of those performances, and then like as I said earlier, like I've been 7 out of 8, 7 out of 9, 6 out of 9 in the end of Tahi's ones, because I've just been an extra, just filled in, been a tree. Yeah, got to be a tree this year. Woo! Goal achieved. So yes, being a tree, being a soldier, being a chorus member, and that was cool. Also, I had the reporter role, which I found very interesting actually, because like obviously I like being sort of the glue. With being in so many pieces, I like being able to stick it all together and then say, yeah, sure, I'm the anchor that binds everything all in. And I actually, like, I learnt a lot from doing that, because I learnt I'm actually a pretty alright reporter, naturally, just from what Tahi was saying and stuff. And if you get riled up, then it's even better. But also with that reporter role, a lot of it was just, like, you've just come off, like, it's very hustle based. So like I've just come off stage from doing Joe's piece, and now, oh no, I've got to run on to introduce this piece. So I run on, I introduce this piece, then I run off, go back on for this next piece, and I've got to like put the mic down and stuff like that. So it was very hustle based, which I thought was very, very good, in terms of like how important it is in the future, like doing drama and stuff, to actually have that hustle and go bam, 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 getting stuff done consistently. Because I know you probably, especially if I make it into tour, I probably won't be on stage the whole time doing this stuff. I'll probably be jumping in and out of different skits and need to be on the ball getting ready to roll. And like that's very good in normal drama as well, because like you need to be on the ball, ready to go if someone needs you. Like not just if your scene's up, but if, like, well say for example you're running a scene and then it runs late, right? And say, oh, no, sorry, that's not the scenario I was even thinking of. Imagine you're running a scene, and then when you reach the end of the scene, like, your cue doesn't come, but you're still waiting ready to go. And then eventually you do hear your cue and you go on stage. Or the opposite happens. You're just sitting down off stage, and then suddenly you hear your cue line, and that's a lot sooner than expected. So obviously something's gone wrong in the scene ahead of yours, so you need to jump up, boom, be ready to go. Like, immediately, be hitting that ball, getting out that door. And I think that's also been a bit of a focus for the year as well in Tahi's class. Like, it's been really good to just have that training to always be ready, always be on the ball, ready to rock, ready to go. Sweet ass. Yeah, so this last term has been quite insane for me. And I'm very, very happy with how, in the end, the Tahi pieces turned out. For everyone, in fact. I especially liked Kayla's piece. this time round. I know I've given her a couple of mentions in previous ones, but I really liked her like the way she interacted in the end with like her little devils in the background who just came forth, freaking out, and then they end up right behind her, and that interaction and the timing that they had between them was pretty good, which was nice to see. And I also really enjoyed Regan's. It was Regan's. Even though it was just a small thing, and like a lot of it was came up last minute, his was nice. It was like it felt really conversational because he was having like a conversation with his daughter, and it was just like, oh, well, back in my day, you complain about the chores nowadays. God told me to build a boat. It's like really quite cool and really quite something, and I enjoyed watching Regan's quite a lot, which was cool. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call vlog 4 a cut here. I'm gonna make one last video just to summarize everything up, and so yeah, see you soon.